Hello, seniors. Miss Velhagen here to talk to you about paying for college and applying for the FAFSA to help you with that because we want to maximize how much money you can line up to help you pay for college. All right, here we go. Little info on the free application for federal student aid. By the way, this video, as well as the FAFSA FSA ID creation video that we showed last time in advisory, those are both posted in the 12th grade counseling Google Classroom. And don't forget, on the counseling website, we have a Just for Seniors page that has all of the FAFSA links and all kinds of information you need for applying to college and financial aid. Also, both of those sites have the link to the actual FAFSA when you're ready to fill it out, and a link to the free virtual Monday afternoon FAFSA help sessions that happen every Monday from 3 to 6 if you need personal help with your FAFSA. So here's the big picture. All right, college has all of its costs of attendance, whether it's tuition and fees. If you're living on campus, you'll have additional expenses. So the family is expected to contribute a certain amount of money toward college, depending on their financial situation. And filling out the FAFSA is going to determine your EFC, or expected family contribution for your family. It doesn't matter the cost of the college you're going to. Say the college you're looking at, it costs $25,000 a year. If your FAFSA calculates that your family should potentially be able to afford paying $5,000 a year, that's your EFC that you're going to see in your FAFSA results, leaving $20,000 that your family can't really afford to pay for. So we are hoping that FAFSA funds or college funds or scholarships or work study or a combination of those can help you chip away at that remaining financial need that you have. Even if you go to a college that costs twice as much, say $50,000 a year, your EFC is not going to change. The FAFSA will still calculate it and say this family can only afford $5,000 a year no matter what college the student is going to. All right, so you'll see that in your FAFSA results, what that EFC number is. There are multiple types of financial aid the FAFSA can potentially qualify you for: scholarships, grants, work study where you get a job on campus, loans, which I'm not recommending that you take out, but if you did need student loans, you would want to use the FAFSA government student loans that are offered to you. To you. Another slide about financial, the types of financial aid the FAFSA will qualify you for. The Pell Grant up at the top here is the most common form of grant that students sometimes qualify for based on family income. The maximum Pell Grant currently is $6,895 a year. If your family has very limited income, you might qualify for that amount or some portion of that amount. People get Pell Grants in all different amounts. Your family may make too much money to qualify for a Pell Grant, but you still might qualify for a work study job if you wanted one, or loans if you needed them. So that's what we're doing this FAFSA for. The FAFSA is free to fill out. Do not go to some scam site like FAFSA.com where they charge you money to help you fill it out. It is not necessary. You fill it out yourself at FAFSA.gov. It's a government website and it's free. Here's what you'll need to have handy. You and one parent need that FSA ID that we talked about last week in advisory. You need that to be able to sign the FAFSA and submit it. You need a social security number. Your parent doesn't have to have one, but you do. Your 2021 taxes right now, we are talking about the class of 2023 starting college in the fall of 2023. So you need taxes from 2 years ago. And some additional financial records. You'll need to know how much cash your family has on hand, what the balances are in their savings and checkings account, and a few other financial bits of info. Every time you do the FAFSA, don't forget you're going to do the FAFSA every year that you're about to go into another year of college. So on October 1st of 2022, we know that the FAFSA for the class of 2023, starting off as freshmen, that opened on October 1st of this year. Next year, when you're a college freshman, in October of 2023, you're going to do a new FAFSA to help you pay for your sophomore year. And every year you do the FAFSA, you just go back 2 years in taxes. So when you're a sophomore in 2024 to 25, you're going to need your 2022 taxes. And students, even if you move out and you're living in the dorms and you feel independent, the FAFSA requires parent financial info until you turn 24. That's what's required. All right. Typically, students have to fill out their FAFSA and include their parents' tax information, like I said, with very few exceptions. This is what the form is going to look like when you get into it, with several different tabs you have to complete. You can save it as you go and come back and finish it if you can't do it all in one sitting. Some basic personal info to start off with. They're going to ask you about your high school diploma. Have you ever been in college before? And if you ever get tripped up on any question, there's always a little question mark that you can click on for more info, and it's very helpful. There's also always a live chat on the FAFSA website that you can tap into, and there's an 800 number if you have any questions, you can call them. Driver's license, optional. They're going to ask a lot of questions about your status. Have you ever been in foster care? Then they ask you about your high school. You'll have to look that up. I mean, you type it in and it'll pop up. Then you select up to 10 colleges that you're applying to, because we want the colleges to have your financial information as well as the federal government, so they can all be potential sources of income. You put down college by college by college. If you're applying to more than 10 colleges, you can submit the FAFSA with the first 10, wait for it to be processed, which is only usually about 72 hours. Then you go back in, make changes. You can always make changes to your FAFSA. You can go back in, delete the first 10 schools, and add any additional schools that didn't fit in the first 10. All right. A few questions about, are you dependent? Do you have dependents? Do you have children of your own? There's all kinds of things they ask about on the FAFSA that may or may not apply to you. And there are always special circumstances. Maybe you don't live at home. Maybe you don't have any contact with your parents. In that kind of situation, come and see me and we'll talk about it. Here's a question that we get a lot. How do I know which parent to put down and whose income I'm putting on there? If your parents are married, you need to put both of their info from their taxes. If your parents are divorced, you're just going to choose the parent that provides 51% or more of your financial support. It can be tricky, but that's how they figure it out. You can find this slide again on the FSA website, the FAFSA website, or come back and look at this again in my video. They ask about the marital status, your parents' info, what other siblings are in your family, is anybody else going to college? Then we start to get to the taxes. A quick way to save some time is to use this data retrieval tool from the IRS, where you agree to go to the IRS website, import your family's taxes from 2021 or whatever is 2 years prior to the year you're going into. And you have to agree to go to that website and import the info. Some people can't use the data retrieval tool. It gets messed up if your address is different on the FAFSA, if you moved since your taxes were filed. There's a few exceptions, but try to make the IRS import work. If it doesn't work, you're just going to hand enter line by line using your family's taxes, looking at them. Some more IRS warnings. You go over to their website if that works for you. Lots and lots of tax questions. That's what this is all about. When they ask you, are you a paid preparer? That means you work for H&R Block, or you're an accountant, or you're somebody doing this FAFSA that's not the student or the parent. So usually the answer is no, you're not a preparer. Take a look over the summary once you've filled out the FAFSA. Make sure it looks good. Few last questions before you submit it. Then you're going to sign the FAFSA using that FSA ID that you created. Student has one, parent or guardian has one. Sign and submit. You'll get a confirmation that it was successful. And then if you have a sibling who's also needing to do the FAFSA, they will give your parent a chance to just duplicate what they just did, so you don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. So look for that. And then you'll be done with it. So what you do is wait about 48 to 72 hours, check the email that you used on the FAFSA, and you're looking for your student aid report, or SAR. It'll say your FAFSA's been completed. Here's your SAR. And you look and see what you've been offered in potential grants, possible scholarships, loans. You'll just see your results. If you have questions about your results, come see me in counseling. Also, there are FAFSA help sessions every Monday from 3 to 6. Like I said, you can log on to those virtually. You can find the flyer for that on the counseling website, or the Just for Seniors page of the website. And then one last thing is our local New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. They give away $500 scholarships